lot nicer talking to you guys this week after a big win for our guys. Very proud of our group. We have a resilient group. When you really look at our roster, we've got a very young team. And, you saw some of that youth kind of come to fruition in a couple of our losses. But I think what you also see today is that our culture is really good. We have guys that believe in one another. We have guys that believe in our coaches. We have guys that believe in this program. And they're never going to stop fighting no matter what is thrown at them. And I think you really got to see that tonight. I thought this was the best game we've played this season in terms of offense, defense, and special teams executing at a high level. And again, I just think it's a culmination of this group's work. These guys work extremely hard. They do everything that we're asking them to do, and then some. And so I'm really excited for my group to get this feeling back and get us back in the right direction in terms of our record and winning down the stretch. But very happy with the way they played and very excited about moving forward after a little bit of momentum tonight.
Yeah, coach. So first off, I'll just ask about Joshua. Obviously, he's an uber talented player. But what specifically about Joshua seemingly opens up the entirety of the offense?
Well, I just think he has a great ability to see what the defense is doing pre-snap and get the ball out on time. I think we struggled with that over the last couple of weeks without him. Just getting the ball out on time and being confident in his reads was huge. And then obviously he's got the ability to extend plays. You saw some plays where maybe no one's open on the first read, but he creates a little time. Guys playing backyard football, and he's finding guys open down the field. And I think that's just something that he brings to the table every week. And he's very hard to defend. So I think moving forward, he's going to be obviously the key to a lot of our offense.
Eli coming to the huge as well. He had that 64-yard screen pass, but also he ended with 100 yards receiving and 65 yards rushing. Was it game plan to focus on Eli this week?
Absolutely. He's healthy. This is the first week where we felt like he's 100% healthy. We didn't have him on a pitch count. We were really making sure he could get the ball in every way possible. That kid can do it all, right? He can catch it. He can run it. He's physical. He's absolutely what we're looking for at tailback, and he really showed that, his versatility tonight. I didn't realize he had 100 yards until after the game, but that doesn't surprise me, right? He's a guy that could go for 100 on the ground, 100 in the air pretty easily, and we look forward to continuing to get him the football.
You talked about complementary football pretty often. Obviously, something clicked for both your offense and defense today. Was there something you worked on differently in practice? Why do you think it clicked?
No, I don't know if it's anything that we've worked on differently. I think the guys just really saw that at times we didn't play together. We were a culmination of talent as opposed to a team. And when we watched those clips, I think it really set in stone for those guys. Like, hey, they care about each other. We're doing all the right things. Well, we got to do all the right things all the time. Picking each other up literally and figuratively off the ground. We've got to do a better job celebrating. We got to do a better job picking guys up when things get negative and we have, bad things happen to us in the game. And that's where our focus really went to, is being great teammates, right? Being guys that care about one another and that are going to pick each other up when things are going wrong. And you really got to see that tonight.
Coach Joshua did a great job decision making today. I won't get into specifics on what exactly he saw, but I want to go back to that last touchdown before the half. He calls an audible at the line, throws a touchdown to Emerson. I mean, what do you have to say about his ability to, as the season has gone on, really, really get comfortable in his role, take command of the offense, and make call outs like that to be able to get the offense further along?
Well, what you're seeing is a guy that's playing more snaps, right? I mentioned that we had a young team. Well, Josh was a young player, right? Before this game, I think Joshua had still had under 400 snaps as a college football player. And so what I think you're seeing is just the maturity happening before our eyes. He's getting more reps. He's getting more opportunities at live coverage, and he's doing a great job. He studies really, really hard. He's a guy that really puts in the work in the film room. And what I think you're seeing is that comfort level continue to rise because of the snaps that he's getting.
You've talked a lot about, since you arrived in Moscow, about how physical you want this team to be. I mean, both sides of the ball really in this game. You got a lot of great lead blocks, particularly Nate Azapari getting out in front of Eli on that touchdown.
That was big time.
And obviously we talked about it with Deuce. You guys got a lot of pressure on the quarterback today. What does it do for this team when you guys are able to enforce your will in the trenches?
Yeah, that's like our number one thing in terms of who we want to be on the field is physical. And I think we've been a physical team most of the season, but I think tonight was just a culmination where everyone, all three phases were physical. We really kind of, focused on that and getting back to basics in our program. And I think it definitely paid off for us tonight.
You talked about the success of all three phases earlier in the year. Had some struggles on special teams from time to time. This game, it was really clean. It was a great punting day from Cameron Payne. He switched from place kicker to punter, and on that one booming punt he had, it was a heck of a tackle from Dylan Fisher. What do you have to say about the impact the special teams had on this game, just not letting Corliss State get any momentum in any way?
Yeah, I thought our special teams played exceptionally well. I'm really proud of Cameron Pope. Obviously he was demoted as our place kicker, but he didn't hang his head. He didn't sulk about it. He just worked on a way that he could help. He's always been a really good punter. He just hadn't focused on it as much, and he really got to focusing on it. Looked really good during the bye week. Northern Colorado, we said, hey, let's see if we can get him in there. Punted really well last week against Eastern and continued to punt well tonight. So I'm very proud of that young man for his resolve. Because again, sometimes when you lose your starting spot, man, it's easy to just crawl into a hole and feel like you're not a part of the team. And he did anything but that, found a different way to really help our team, and he did that tonight. I thought Owen Forsman was really dynamite in our kickoff game. We had squibs out there, deep kicks, really showed an array of his leg talent. And I know Owen Adams missed the first one, but he got back on track, kicked his longest field goal of his career. So, and he was perfect with PATs as well. So I think that group has really come along. Dylan Fisher, you mentioned him. He was a backup. Xander Eccles had been our starter. He kind of got banged up, and Dylan stepped up. But again, this is what happens when young players get opportunities. When young players get more reps, they get better. And I think we've got some really, really talented young guys.
Joshua said when he was out that one of the things he did on the sidelines was try to keep the other quarterbacks calm.
Yeah.
What was he like on the sidelines?
Oh, he's always calm. Josh is about the most even keel quarterback you could have. Outside of the Washington State game, he was a little bit emotional. He's really that way. He is very even keeled. Things go great, he'll celebrate with his teammates, but he's not hit too high. Things go wrong, might throw an interception. Yeah, he'll be ticked off about it, but he's not going to spend too much time worrying about it because, again, he's very focused on the next play. I think Joshua just really believes everything we're preaching, where we talk about not living in the past. We talk about how you respond is way more important than the events that actually happen to you. And I think he really, truly believes all of that and embodies it when he plays.
Coach, I saw you having a little bit of fun on the sideline too in between third and fourth quarter, but I'm wondering, what does this do for confidence, momentum with 4 games left in the season? I mean, I'm assuming it just builds, right?
Absolutely. I think this team is a very good team that lost their starting quarterback and struggled a little bit on offense the last 2 weeks. And I think what you saw was us get healthy, get our guy back, and turn into the confident team that knows they can go beat anybody that we play. And I think that's what we're going to be really hanging our hat on the rest of the season, focusing one game at a time and trying to do the best we possibly can in that game. And we'll worry about the next one when it comes.
Coach, over the past couple seasons, trick plays have become a mainstay in the Idaho offense. Obviously, got new personnel in the coaching staff this year. Had a couple really successful trick plays today. What does it mean when you guys are able to incorporate those in as well as your, go-to play?
Well, I think when you're the head coach and you're struggling in any area, you try to go help that area a little bit more. And I definitely had a lot more involvement with our offense, especially the planning portion. And that's something that I love. I love trick plays. I love taking deep shots. Those are things that I want in our offense. And I think Coach Linehan really understood that in this game plan. And we'll continue to build more game plans like it. Awesome. Thank you guys. Visa.